Alrighty, y'all. You clicked on this video because you want to learn how to do a pack leader no multi-shot build. And I'm the guy to tell you this is a good build. This is simple. This is easy. This is such a fun build to go into Keystones with. And you deal a ton of damage with this build. So I'm here to kind of like let you know the rotation, the pros, the cons of this type of thing, and how to maximize your damage as a pack leader no multi-shot builder. Yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy. Howdy y'all, today I'm basically going to be going over the pack leader no multi-shot build for Mythic Plus dungeons. This build I've been using for a while now. These are my current keystones at the moment. We just crossed the 13 eco dome with like 7 minutes left. And I was actually the top damager on that. But yeah, I mean, basically pack leader no multi-plus build, you're going to be sacrificing AoE damage, a lot of AoE damage for like boss damage. And honestly, no multi-build does a fairly good job with AoE as well. As you can tell, the most damage here is actually on Beastcleave and Stampede with Run Flesh, which typically comes from AoE as well. So, like, even without your main AoE multi-shot build with a Beastcleave, it still does insane amounts of AoE damage, but you just get to do more damage on bosses. Overall, yes, it is going to, like, drop your damage levels, but sometimes AoE damage isn't the best damage that you can put out for Mythic Plus build. Now, we are going to be talking about the pack leader no multi-shot build inside this video. If you want to skip straight to the point, feel free to check out the chapters down below. I don't want to waste your time, but I do want to start this video off by talking about why would you want to play a hunter inside Mythic Plus. Hunters have amazing accessories. They can misdirect the tanks, which helps the tanks build aggro initially, so they don't have to focus on fighting mobs at the very beginning, wasting less time. Number 2, they have an ability called Hunter's Mark. Hunter's Mark basically marks the enemy. They take 5% more damage above 80% health, which is fantastic for Mythic Keystone. But yeah, basically Hunters right now have a ton of AoE damage. They have quite a bit of priority damage as well. Now let's talk about abilities. What is the rotation for one target? And this is the rotation. You start off with Hunter's Mark, Barb Shot, Kill Command, Barb Shot, Bloodshed, Bistro Wrath, Barb Shot, Kill Command, Barb Shot, Kill Command, Barb Shot, Kill Command. Whenever that's out, then you're going to do Cobra Shot. One Cobra Shot, Kill Command comes back up, and then you just keep repeating the cycle. Now, you're going to want both of those on cooldown all the time. If it's not on cooldown, then you're losing damage. But yeah, that's the main rotation right there for priority. So one target, you just keep spamming those 3 buttons. If there's none of those, then you do Cobra Shot. Really simple and straightforward. Now, let's talk about AoE damage. Cleaving, let's say, for example, there's 3 targets here. You start the fight off by Hunter's Marking. You're going to want to Barb Shot, Kill Command. You want to spread your Barb Shot to other targets. So if you can see, I already have 3 Barb Shots all around. And you just keep rotating these Barb Shots. To maximize your damage as a Beastmastery Hunter and set the spec, that is the best way to maximize your damage. Because you're forcing all these targets to bleed. Barb Shot itself doesn't stack. So you can only apply 1 bleed effect to these targets. Another ability to keep in mind is your Stampede. When you get a 4 set with the Midnight set for Beast Mastery, for Pack Leader, you can summon a Stampede every Bistro Wrath. So, for example, I do Bistro Wrath. If I do Kill Commands, it summons a Stampede. That's what this is over here. Now, every now and then you can get 2 Stampedes. That's another min-max technique that I'm not going to go over. Too complex to do it inside this video. I want it to be short. But you can angle your Stampede. So, for example, if I'm going over here, I can angle it to wherever the tank is pulling the group. So, in this target, I'd want a Stampede right here. So that way it goes through everything. Inside High Mythic Keystones, your tank's going to be pulling targets and grabbing them to go to the other direction. Just make sure you angle your Stampede that direction. And that's the cleave combination. Another thing to keep in mind, whenever you do this type of combo, you can actually go up to 5 bleed effects. So let's start off here. 1, 2, 3. So you just keep spreading out your Barb Shot as much as possible, and that's going to give you insane damage. Because right now, I have it on 5 targets. I can maintain 3 without Bistro Wrath. But this build basically allows you to max out Barb Shot as much as possible. Just as soon as you pop Bistro Wrath, do a Barb Shot, and you're going to town on these guys. So that's the AoE damage. That's the rotation for AoE damage. That's how you maximize your damage as a pack leader, no multi-shot build. So I want to talk about some of the pet types that you can use. Technically, the best pet that you can use inside Keystones would be an Akiri, because the movement speed is 30%, meaning that they get to the target 30% more quicker than any other pet. So if you're looking for like the best pet overall for Mythic Keystones without looking at like cosmetic or anything that fits your character, Akiri is the best pet that you can use for that type of goal. Now, what I like to do, it depends on the dungeon, but typically you would want to go with Tenacity as the pet spec, because then you're able to get the Fortitude of the Bear. Which basically, number one, it gets you passive 5% more health, maximum health. And then number two, you have more healing abilities as a hunter. Your survivability doubles, basically, because you have an extra exhilaration. Ferocity is really good if you don't have a lust inside your group. For example, if you don't have a shaman, a mage, and they look to you for bloodlusting, you're going to want to run a ferocity pet inside your stable most of the time, because typically hunters are expected to be bloodlusting inside Mythic Keystones. Now, another thing to keep in mind is CCs. What type of control do you have as a hunter? What can you stop? And there's actually quite a bit of answers to this. Number one, you have a combination of Tranquilizing Shot and Bursting Shot. So that way, whenever, like, whoever's inside this Tranquilizing Shot, they'll instantly get pinned back to the center, and you allow everything to group up together. Which is really amazing for AoE cleave damage. It's what you want for Stampede. On top of that, you can also do Counter Shot, which, you know, it's basic. It's a 22-second, you dispel whatever they're trying to cast. Tranquilizing Shot's really good for Ecodome, for the elementals. They give the other ads a shield, and so you can just use that and you instantly get rid of like a tenth of their health with that shield. Some more CCs that you have Implosive Trap, so it completely gets rid of every single like cast inside that area. For example, Sentry, Stag Shells, and Arakara, they do a call, you interrupt that, boom. You have Intimidation to help stun as well. It's a pretty good stun. It's a 3-second stun. And then other than that, that's about it for the Beast Mastery CC. It's quite a bit. You also have Freezing Trap as well. Use that if you want. It takes quite a while, but it does work. So if you really need to get a CC off like a Stag Shell, for example, that'll get her done. But other than that, that's basically the pack leader, no multi-shot build. That's the rotation. I wanted to be quick for you guys because there's a lot of guides going over this, but they all take quite a bit of time. If you enjoyed the guide, feel free to follow, subscribe. I do quite a bit of hunter content. I stream all the time. I stream daily, basically, and I do a bit of Keystones on those streams, as well as some Heroic Mana Forge, probably Mythic coming up soon. I'm not sure yet. But yeah, I do some Beast Mastery content. I also do some Brewmaster Monk as well at the moment. If you guys enjoyed, feel free to follow, subscribe, and hopefully you guys have a good day. Thank you guys for tuning in. Adios.